What would he have to do? I don't know if there's anything he can do. I don't know. I mean, even if he apologizes, fair enough. But I don't really want to like hang out with the guy on streams and stuff, you know.
Listen, Mutahar, listen, mate. I'm just sending you this video. You do as you wish with it, okay? I don't know what else to say. Is that it? Are we done? Is there anything else to add? God, this feels so awkward now. I had all this energy, and now it just feels awkward.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's a good confrontation. I sent the stuff over to Nux. I think like he should have a good explanation for it. If he doesn't, then we shouldn't be working together. I think the Tom perspective is good. It's like, I'm gonna watch this video and similar.
Bro, this clip is from August. What? None of this happened. All right, let's get into the bigger stuff. All right, this is the stuff, the reason why you guys are here. So just to retread, this was the initial comment.
Ain't no way that Muta is in the lolly. No, I don't believe that. That sounds nuts. Wait, why is his account locked? Why is his account inactive, preventing impersonation? Wait, what? Wait, what? Resurface video of Oompaville, some ordinary gamers and Nooks Taku watching Lollipop together on a Discord call? Can't speak for Caleb. From what
So just to be clear, okay? Mutahar released a video criticizing Hassan Piker for having the terrorist on and doing all those other things with like, watching them hijack the ship, talking about Frogan, talking about all the stuff that was going on in the community. When Hassan reacts to it, he invokes this comment about how Mutahar watched Lolicon with Nux Taku. Okay, this was the Mutahar situation. It is in fact crazy. Okay, the Mutahar situation has ballooned. There's subreddit posts discussing this. There's several comments to be looked at here. There are videos that have been deleted. Now, Nux Taku, if you check his Twitter profile picture right now, I'm pretty sure it's still Mutahar's face over his VTuber avatar. Clearly, these guys are very close friends. They must be watching tons of content together. A video was released by Mutahar that has since been deleted, chat. They've deleted the video. It's gone. It's off the face of the earth. This thing is completely, it's gone crazy. Again, like there are full Reddit posts. People have been absolutely trashing everybody here. There's kind of two sides to this. There's three sides. One is that Mutahar is throwing Nux under the bus because he himself is guilty and he's using Nux Taku as a way to get out. Two, Mutahar is correct to go after Nux. The things that he did in that video were correct. The things that he said were correct. However, he's spineless and he removed the video. And then there's like the third group that's like, Nux has never done anything wrong and he's a great guy. That third group sucks. In particular, that third group is really bad. Ignore the third group because they're retarded. But in general, there's pretty much two sides to this. Yeah, it's A and B. It's either side A, B, or P. There's two sides. There's three sides here. Sides A, sides B, or side P. I'll leave that one to your. I'll leave that one to whatever you're thinking. Yeah, this is Mutahar's video, guys. Just to be clear, has anybody seen this feature yet? This new skip to highlight? I found this while I was researching today, and I just want to know, what is the utility for this? Does anybody know?
Oh boy. You know, ladies and gentlemen, it's just easy to hate on Ubisoft. Why the fuck does my $60 purchase hinge on this shit fucking company requiring me?
Well, who the fuck is this feature for? Like, I'm so fucking confused. Like, I have literally no idea. This is like the AI feature.
Oh boy.
There's a button here to make it so I don't understand what's happening in the video.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, it's just easy to hate on Ubisoft. Why the fuck?
That's so fucking funny, dude. Is that sponsor block? Well, I've been getting it recently. There's a base YouTube feature that will skip video introductions for you. It's for skipping ads. Yeah, I get that, but it's still kind of weird. It looks like it might be sponsor block in this instance, but there definitely is something that they're testing right now. So this is post Nux clarity. Goes through a lot of the Mutahar allegations and he responds to
hello, guys and gals.
Most of the things that were said. Unfortunately, we have to look at potato quality because he's deleted the video, and we'll get to that. That's its own thing.
Hello, guys and gals, me Mutahar, and today we've got a pretty serious video to make. Throughout my career, you know, people make mistakes and there's accountability to be taken, and I am not shy to taking real accountability to actual mistakes.
This hit so much harder when it was actually still on his channel. I know, I like, we're watching it in chronological order, but again, there's so many moments of this video where I think it hits way harder if the video is still up.
Now, the thing about this is, obviously, I can upload these kind of videos onto secondary platforms, but I really think, for full effect, I should always upload to the main platform and really talk to you guys in a full, level-headed way. Now, I have a Reddit board known as Some Ordinary
And again, the title of this video was Post Nux Clarity. Complete fire.
Gamers, and you can post whatever memes and things you want.
This is the problem. I'm gonna pull this up on screen. Oh, fuck. That was not the right button. Why is that still here? Let me move that. Sorry, I did not mean to announce that Tipster won the election. So this is the issue here that we're seeing. This is the problem. Mutahar is like Reddit captured right now. That's my best diagnosis on what's happening here. He cares way too much about what people on fucking Reddit are saying. Again, it's kind of crazy to say that as like me to him because he's like a well-established YouTuber. But I mean, at this point, it's pretty clear he cares way too much what people have to say. I would have just dropped this video, said nothing, and went on with my day, and probably never talked about it again. That would be my goal. But again, like you see the stuff that he says in the other posts, it's just he sees like a Reddit post that has like a couple votes or whatever, and it changes the whole trajectory of whatever he was going to talk about that day. I guess I don't know.
Want all day, every day. But one of the clips that I saw, one of the things shared was resurfaced video of Oompaville, Some Ordinary Gamers, and Taku watching Loli together on a Discord call. So when I see this kind of stuff, it blows me, and obviously it flashbangs anybody, and I want to definitely have a...
All right. Hold on, what?
Some Ordinary Gamers and Taku watching Loli together on a Discord call. So when I see this kind of stuff, it blows me, and...
That was a Freudian clip right there. That was a Freudian clip if I've ever seen one.
Obviously, it flashbangs anybody, and I want to definitely have a talk about it and really explain to you exactly what this is, what it's about, give you my side of the perspective, and again, take accountability where accountability needs to be fucking taken. Now, I've had a pretty hardcore stance against things like lolly, and obviously, I don't want to be contributing to watching that kind of content or normalizing it in any fashion. So in this situation, obviously
Now he's going to get into it. The allegation is that he watched it. It's not even an allegation. This is what Taku does. Taku is a little weird gremlin who brings popular YouTubers in, and his gimmick is to show them weird hentai. Okay? The entire gimmick is to show them weird shit. He claims he's not into lolicon, or he's not like a supporter of lolicon and stuff. Okay? He claims that the messages where he wanted to work with Shadman were purely ironic. Okay, whatever. I don't really care. Whatever. It's weird. It's gross. I don't really care what he has to say about it. It's just like it looks pretty fucking bad regardless. Is I guess what I'm getting at here. But yeah. So that's what they do. There's like a video where Turkey Tom was talking about how he was brought on and there was some weird animal shit going on, like some animal hentai or something. That was another one. Dude, listen. I gotta be honest with you. My only thing here for Mutahar is, I feel like if I was in this position, I would have been a little like weirded out in the moment, and I would have said something. Not like, I mean, just the whole concept of this is ridiculous.
Looked at some of these clips, and I want to explain what's happening and completely condemn it too, because as somebody that is 1,000...
Like, I'm glad he's condemning it, and I'm glad he's explaining it, but I feel like in the moment, you've kind of got to like, you'd be uncomfortable, right?
...% against this kind of stuff. I don't want to be, again, normalizing it in any capacity. Now, for people who don't know, Oompaville and Taku were former members of the Some Ordinary podcast, which obviously ended 3 to 4 months ago. Now, I get to talk about that a little bit after I discuss all of this, because there's some lore about it that I can finally really discuss. And it should shed to light exactly what really happened with the podcast, because it's pretty independent of this. But to go back to it,
as far as I know about the breakup of the Some Ordinary podcast, because if you know Chud Logic, he was given some bad information. And that bad information came from me because I was given bad information. And what I understood initially is that the podcast was ending over a monetary dispute between Gamer from Mars and his company that also does the ads for my channel. So, disclaimer. What is it? I'm not gonna say the name of it, but like the company that runs like advertisements and stuff like that. Apparently, Gamer from Mars owned the Some Ordinary podcast. It was put together with Oompaville and Taku. And there was a dispute there. Those guys were leaving. They didn't have access to the podcast channel anymore, so they just moved on, right? That was supposedly what happened. And I do think at least 90% of why the podcast ended exactly the way it did is for that reason. But he went on Chud's stream and said that it was because of, or at least partly because of Nux. And then kind of went back on it, which kind of felt shitty if you're a Chud Logic fan, you know? Because, I mean, Chud's getting shit for it. He's getting obliterated in his comment section saying that he lied. And then the source was just like Mutahar, because he went on the stream and said it was partly because of Nux. So.
But Nux Taku
You think Mood is striking re-uploads? No chance.
is a former collaborator, a former friend of mine. And I mean really a former friend of mine, because some of the stuff that I've seen over here is disgusting enough that I really can't continue a friendship. And I really can't, like, again, excuse some of my behavior watching some of this content as well. So this video that was uploaded with, again, Nux Taku as Jeffrey Epstein and me as, I assume, Ghislaine Maxwell over here, Mutahar Nunt, right? So obviously in this clip, or in this video, there is a pretty big clip of me, Nux Taku, and Quite, and Caleb basically watching and reviewing hentai together. Now, while...
You know, I gotta be honest with you, I didn't realize Quite was involved in this too. How many YouTubers, like, he's talked to Charlie, like... This is like the... Okay, I don't want to make the joke, but it's like the P. Diddy shit, where it's like everybody was in it, so nobody could say anything. How... What did he show you? Well, he showed me a lot of stuff. It's still on his YouTube channel. I can't really say anything about it, because if I do, I'll go down too. I feel like Rosanna Pansino. It's like, well, I pulled up a picture of Jeffrey Epstein, so now the person I'm criticizing is Hitler. But no, it's kind of, you get where I'm coming at, right? It's kind of fucking funny. It's like he just pulls in all these big YouTubers and shows them like abhorrent material. And then the weird audience that likes this kind of thing, because let's face it, there's a certain subsector of VTuber fans that are pretty cringe. Yeah, I don't know.
All three of us were present in this video. This is a section from me, right? Now, obviously, these videos, according to how this video is played, was uploaded on YouTube. Now, for full context, when it comes to recording stuff, this was 3 years ago, so I don't...
Yeah, I guess the P. Diddy comparison is closer to, like, Shadman, but if Shadman had any industry power... Could you imagine if Shadman was, like, the size of PewDiePie, and it was just, like, people didn't say anything because they were terrified of, like, what they would show?
Remember everything done on
like every big YouTuber received a Shad painting in the mail.
I don't think anybody can remember something they did 3 years ago, especially when you make videos nearly every day. But in this collaboration, Nux doesn't really give any preparation material. We kind of just jump in and record stuff and then send it over to his editors or himself over Discord. But in this situation, he showed us a channel known as Henty Boy, right? Which, again, this is a video known as Hentai Thick Girl, very unknown, very small viewership, but as you...
There's just never been a good sentence that starts with, so this video called Hentai Thick Girl. I have never heard a sentence with any of those words are not in the Bible, sir.
You can see right over here, right? This was all uploaded...
I'm trying to think of what Oompaville was thinking when he put this on the screen.
To YouTube.
And even when you look at the upload date for this, August 2020, around Nux's actual video, which would have been uploaded like January of, or the end of January of like 2021, the channel pretty much remained dormant over here, but it was pretty much an unknown channel that slipped under YouTube's moderation. I don't even think that channel exists anymore, because with the amount of attention raised through Nux's initial video, it probably is completely removed and has actually been banned.
You know what this is like? For the people who don't understand anime, because I don't understand anime, this would help me. This is kind of like if you got all your guys in a call together to watch some of like the really creepy, like some of the worst possible stuff during like Elsagate. And then the video wasn't you like criticizing the channel. It was you guys just kind of laughing at it. I mean, it's not the same, obviously, because of the nature of the content that they're watching, but that's probably like the closest YouTube drama explanation as to what was happening.
And off of the platform.
And again, when I was working with Nux, a lot of the things we did talk about was being anti-Loli in that situation. And Nux very much made it clear to me that he was anti this stuff as well, too. And
it's just an old school porn watching party. What is old school about that? You guys just helicopter your dicks and watch porn? That's weird.
He still maintains it to this day. But the kind of stuff that he showed us was anime ni summer.
Now, inside the video, inside Nux's presentation, it kind of came off as like just a cursed little hentai. And
dude, the boys are back, dude. We're gonna be watching some fucking hardcore today. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
reality of it is, I never really watched his collaboration, but if you take...
What is it? Is that a stag? Someone just said stag party. Is there a name for that? Has that been like, that's a thing?
The name that Nee Summer has had and put it into my anime list,
Dude, the boys are back in town, guys.
which I realistically should have
This
done.
is what they did Dude, this was what they did before the election stream.
At the time. You can see the synopsis is Yuta Yamayuchi is a average high school student, right? So right there, I'm not going to play the whole semantics. Oh, is this really a lolly game? Like, I don't even care if somebody is like 18 or on the cusp of like turning 19. At the end of the day, high school can very much involve a minor. And when you scroll down and go to the information, it is a OVA by a studio known
My
as...
brain is poisoned. When he said high school could include a minor, I immediately thought of like the fucking riff at the end of like right at the beginning of fucking Kendrick Lamar.
Rabbit Gate with no licensors, but the genre is in fact hentai. So again, ladies and gentlemen, if it's hentai and it involves high school people, it does in fact fall under the lowly banner, and that is never...
I'm glad I didn't do like the they not like us, because that would have been a Jake Weddle tier joke, and we can't have that. No, we cannot.
Okay, in any capacity. Now, obviously, these videos existing on YouTube kind of, again, led us to some credence that maybe it wasn't, you know, this, like, borderline illicit material. But again, these were also smaller YouTube channels, so chances are they probably weren't swept up under the YouTube moderation, which is something that also should have really been considered from my end. It should have been something that I never watched in the first place. I should have never, you know, condoned. And honestly, it's pretty shitty to even contribute to somewhat normalizing this material. When there's a lot of large creators that work with a person, you know, you tend to have this level of, like, authority brought into it. And there is obviously a blind spot when this is somebody that you consider to be a friend at the time. And obviously, when you work with that person and you see other large creators that you're also friends with work with that person, it just, again, swells up that blind spot that you make. But again, no real excuses over there. You shouldn't really have a blind spot in the first place. And again,
Here's the reality of the situation. This is all fine. I don't know. People are going to cry about it and get mad because he said what I think everyone expected him to say. The reality of the situation, it's all he could say. You know, you shouldn't have a blind spot to friends. I had a blind spot for friends. I had a blind spot for Mama Max. That's what I think he says that right next, right?
again, it's not only me being a poor judge of character, but I should have absolutely have spotted this years ago. So for that, I absolutely own up to...
I thought he
my
mentions
fucking
Max
fear.
in here.
But again, I don't think this is literally us gooning together watching Loli in this manner. This is a...
Then maybe he mentions it somewhere else. I saw like a little bit of this earlier. Yeah, I mean, like, it's all he could say. Whatever. My issue with it, and the only issue that I have that I think is pretty fucked or whatever, is like, why didn't you notice at the time that this was set in high school, that it was overtly sexual? Why didn't you say something then? But like, I don't know if there's like a solid answer for that. I think the best answer is like, I don't know. So I mean, there's not really much I could say.
collaboration where it happens pretty much on the fly, and it's not, you know, representative of the kind of shit that I consume on a daily basis or anything of that nature. Like, I would never willingly and honestly, like, watch something like this, you know, out of nowhere. This is just insane, and I want it to really...
I think, like, the only an uncharitable person is saying that, like, Mutahar is really cranking it to lolly. That's why he's, like, feigning his hatred for it. I don't think many people here think that he's, like, into it or jerks off to it or something, but I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, chat, tell me how off I am on that one.
This up and bring this into the context of what this
I think the only people who'd be saying that are if they only watched the first 30 seconds of the Hassan clip
was.
Which, to be fair, I mean, that might be a sizable number of people.
And why we had watched this kind of stuff. And any jokes that I make in these situations, really any jokes that anybody makes in collaborations like this, is usually because everyone's just playing into the high shock factor of something like this. Does that excuse any behavior? Absolutely not.
And he showed us something very weird, and I remember getting somewhat upset about it.
This clip is crazy.
It was me, him, and Quite. Fuck. I want to say it was something involving a dog, too, but I...
Exactly.
Probably 900-year-old cum vamp for far too long.
These are the four horsemen of the apocalypse we're looking at right now. This is like some mythological...
They've been around since long before civilization.
Exactly. Wait, you showed more in those videos?
This is the 5 rules of the Onami household.
Okay.
These are the little sisters, by the way.
Okay, this is a hentai?
First rule, hug your little sister every day.
Oh, God. Everything Nux Taku says in this. Wait, why the fuck is it glitching again, bro? I hate COD. I'm getting off of COD. Fucking hell. Everything Nux says in this is horrible.
Okay, it's fine. Okay, it's just hug her for at least 10 seconds.
God, it is not even blurred. This is not an easy watch.
There's nothing wrong with the hug. Yeah, it's fine.
No, the third rule isn't any weirder, so you don't have to worry.
Oh, but in this,
that's what I'm saying. Is like the only thing that I'm really gonna say here is like, all right, well, you just kind of gotta bite the bullet and say you really didn't care when you were watching it. I don't think that like you didn't know what this was, but again, I haven't seen it myself, so maybe I'm missing something here. I don't intend to watch it though.
Situation. I just wanted to provide you the context of all of this. Right, this wasn't us sitting together watching Loli, just on like the off time. This is a collaboration for one of Nux's main channels,
which, by the way, is important.
Videos. And at the time, really nobody thought about it, but we should have. So a lot of these big creators, you can start to see like really big names. Obviously, Project Melody, Critical, MXR Plays. I don't know if that's actually Iron Mouse, but yeah, you can see plenty of creators that Nux has worked with. And for a while, there's been plenty of collaborations where like big creators jump on, they get shown like crazy shit, crazy hentai, or sometimes participate in like, games, game shows, so to speak. And that's really the extent of it. Nux is a pretty big collaborator in that space. And realistically, I kind of just walked around expecting him on good faith when he said that, he's pretty anti-loli and obviously wouldn't have shown us anything that would be very adjacent to it. And obviously, with a lot of these larger creators also collaborating with him, I'm sorry to say it really did blindside me. There was a bias, call it, friendship bias, call it, there was other creators working on it.
I think this is the part that I saw. So he says, like, there's a bias, and then I assume, like, well, the Chud Logic viewer, or Chud himself, was watching this being like, listen, mate, you've got quite a lot of biases. This is the second time this year that a bias has come to bite you.
Really, it was something that I was putting up a blind spot to, and I'm not using that as an excuse. I really shouldn't have done that collaboration, and I really shouldn't have watched that content, and if any way contributed to normalizing it. I 100% obviously condemn Lolly, and I 100% condemned my actions in that situation. But again, one of the reasons why I do really want to address this is I don't like obviously reading the facts that I am some level of a pedo or a defender of this or anything. I have made plenty of videos crapping on individuals and burning a bridge with creators who I don't necessarily agree with. If I have ever at any point normalized their actions, people like Mama Max, where I did.
There, that's the one. Yeah, so I mean, like, I guess that's fine. I don't know. I'm not like the best judge of character either, so I can't really judge here. Again, I genuinely thought that like John Swan didn't like create some insane high level lie and like interview Bo Blacks to find out how like autistic people work so he could better craft a minor that fucking trolled somebody pretending to be Dream. All right, like I have definitely missed a few. I'm not gonna act like I'm perfect here either. I don't have like the best judge of character. I mean, again, like I put a Lucid in a YouTube video. That's like another one. I was friends with Technicals. I don't know. There are definitely friendships that I regret.
Stick up for amongst plenty of other creators. But I think obviously if really bad information comes out and new information comes out, you have to publicly correct it. You have to publicly.
I tolerated flamenco.
Explain. Updates to a situation. I could swipe this stuff under the rug, but I choose to upload it on the main channel because I think that's really where taking accountability is at. I don't want to pretend like I am just burying my head in the sand. This was a wrong thing for me to do, and 100% I own up to it completely. So one of the things that I don't agree with is a lot of the over-sexualization in the thumbnails, right? So there were actually collections of thumbnails collected in these videos where things were pretty NSFW, all right? Or at least they were highly sexualized.
Tons of fucking Nux Taku thumbnails are literally just like censored lolicon that he puts for shock value in there. Like that's basically what people have dug up, I guess, of these things that were currently on his channel. This is obvious, like he's clickbaiting it to his audience.
But even that isn't as bad as one of the examples that I want to show you.
And by the way, this is like not even the worst thing about Nux Taku. It's literally not even the worst thing about him.
If you're looking at this video called Cursed Speedrun Fails, this was uploaded 3 years ago, and if you're looking at the thumbnail, it is XQC screaming at...
The last time I criticized Nux Taku, he DM'd me and told me how much he liked the Half-Baked podcast.
some video game with Nux's VTuber in the corner and going, what the fuck? Now, the thing is, the problem with this situation is the thumbnail that came before is absolutely filthy. So this one video where, again, the thumbnail is different, XQC is still very much in the corner. You can see a speedrunning timer. You can see Nux's character, his avatar, right here on the right side. But the middle that I'm blurring especially involves a dog bending over and inserting themselves into what appears to be...
Okay, I don't need the play. If you look here to your left, you'll see a dog bending over and clearly crouching over this
be a female character. So obviously this has nothing to do with the actual content. It's just a hypersexualized thumbnail.
This guy, all right, you know what? I gotta be honest with you. I kind of get Hassan's point. I never thought of it like that, but could you imagine Hassan's like, oh, guys, I just spent a whole day talking about the genocide. What are those YouTubers talking about?
Bending over and inserting themselves into what appears to be a female character.
Oh, okay. That's awesome. All right, listen, one for Hassan. I will give one to Hassan Piker, because that is just, wow.
So obviously this has nothing to do with the actual content. It's just a hypersexualized thumbnail.
Now, even with a thumbnail like that, it had nothing to do with anything hypersexualized, so I don't know why we had to insert zoophilia into like a speedrunning thumbnail. To me, it makes no sense, but obviously, you know, looking through a larger collection of these thumbnails that were uploaded on numerous other channels covering this topic, yeah, it really is a pattern that back in the day, and Nux even touched upon this, that, you know, years ago, that this was something they did, whether it be for some form of clickbait or, you know, capture or something that was normalized in the anime community. Any form of zoophilia, any form of, you know, hentai like this, or hypersexualization, or, you know, if you even insert, like, loli into this thumbnail, for instance, that's not okay. And obviously these are things that, you know, if you slightly change in the background, it's going to rub people the wrong way. You should really just be upfront and honest. And honestly...
And again, I think he should have responded. He should have said stuff like about this sooner. I'm glad he did, I guess. I wish it was still on his YouTube channel. Again, like, if this was still up, I could say nicer things, but...
You should never even have done this in the first place. But yeah, this is one of those things that kind of, like, obviously was brought up, and it's one thing that I wanted to address as one of the principal reasons as to why this isn't okay. But I think a even bigger reason is one of these situations regarding another creator known as Bungo Taiga,
which is a character, a creator that also had their entire YouTube channel pretty much terminated.
By the way, fun story, because we just covered the Himpleton video. If you haven't seen it, it's on the channel. The Taiga guy that we're talking about right now is the same person that Himpleton wanted to debate Queeman about. I know, for anybody who's watching this who doesn't regularly watch the channel, this is like Glup Shitto hour, I understand. But this is the Himpleton Queeman thing where he was going to bring Flamenco on to be Queeman's partner. This is that drama. Small world.
For nudity and sexual content policy.
Now, to preface, also going in forward into this video, I don't know much more about Bungo Taiga other than what I'm about to read here for you, and again, just covering this one specific case. So I don't know what level of degeneracy, if anything, this person also falls into.
Yeah, I can't really comment super hard on Bungo Taiga. I don't know who this person is. And to be honest, it doesn't really sound like Muta knows a lot about who he is. But yeah, I don't know.
Don't consider anything that I'm saying as a co-signing of this individual. I'm looking at a very hyper-specific event in this point in time. I just want to make that readily apparent.
So to go over a bit of their controversy, in summer 2022, Taiga was accused of grooming. They made a twit longer where they reviewed the allegations and called them false. Later, an updated Google Doc was created that had evidence that not only...
All right, again, take this as... Don't take this as a fact. Take this as a grain of salt, because I don't think I can live fact check this one. So I just want to be very clear about that.
Were these allegations fake? They were deliberately created by ex-moderators and spread by a stalker of Taiga. So again, this is the Google Doc in question. Now again, I have no idea about this controversy whatsoever. I'm only bringing this up because it was actually a big point of contention for someone like Nux. So even the actual person, Taiga Holic, actually ended up making like a 57-minute like piece where they kind of went over this and really were just grilling Nux for not really correcting the record. The record had to be corrected because in this situation, Nux literally made a video where he was showcasing controversies to a popular creator known as Penguin Zero. Now inside this, he
Oh
actually
my
goes
god!
out and
I
says,
didn't, I
"Hey,
didn't even
y'all, I
realize
edited out
that.
the Bungo
Wait,
Taiga
so he didn't just fuck up an allegation. He brought Charlie on.
segment of this video. Although I state in the video itself a disclaimer that I do not know the full story and to not take what I say too seriously, I would rather not be a cause for possible misinformation floating around now that new information was revealed. I'm still in the dark on a lot of details as I heard both sides of this event and don't know what
Okay, so if you don't know if you just publish wild misinformation, then you ought to maybe just delete the video. I don't know what, like, okay, so there is stuff you're allowed to fuck up, but if it's everything, it's like the main point of the video. There's not really a in comment description that you can do. Like, if this is like a 20-minute video and the duration of the video is wrong, it's not like an amendable situation. This is like the Cheeto thing. There's nothing to salvage then.
What is Bunty King to you?
A person?
Who is Bunty King?
Nicholas DeOrio?
I'm sorry if I
This is the action. This is the way to do it right. Now, if you could make a video stating that directly, as not a lot of people will see this. Yeah, I mean, like, this is what I'm saying. It's like,
is this really lolly?
you don't even have to take it down. You probably ought to, or remove monetization from it if the whole video is wrong. But like a follow-up video too
caused any undue harm. So I personally apologize to Taiga for their side, and they discussed my plan going forward. If the truth comes out, be it guilty or
like, could you imagine just putting a pinned comment saying like, I've apologized to Taiga, and then you like scroll up and the video is just like mauling the guy?
But I intend to set the record straight in the future when I understand the situation.
It was a throwaway point, not the main focus of the video. Well, okay, so the video as it's presented here is like a talk about major controversies. So yeah, maybe it's not the whole video. It's not like the Cheeto thing, but I personally would just crop the Taiga section out, right? Like if I'm conceding in the comment section, just like go to YouTube editor and remove it. Did he do that?
So it's wild as fuck that we're covering pretty serious stories like this, but we don't have the entire story, or at least enough to make a video. That is basically how you bring on actual misinformation. So in this story, Taiga did not appear to be too...
I'm getting no and he did. Read the first sentence. What did I miss? Hey, okay, no, he edited it out. My apologies. I was incorrect. Sorry, he did the thing.
Be it guilty or innocent, but I intend to set the record straight in the future when I understand the situation. So it's wild as fuck that
okay, so
we're
it's not as bad as
pretty serious stories like this, but we don't have the entire story, or at least enough to make a video. That is basically how you bring on actual misinformation. So in this story, Taiga did not appear to be too happy with this entire situation. They actually talked about it again in that VOD I brought up. Taku can't stop lying.
You think I deplatformed him? People are blaming me for deplatforming him. He got banned for sexual content. But you're blaming me for deplatforming him? Destroyed his life? You think I destroyed his life when the video where I talked about apologizing for it has more views than the video where I originally mentioned it, like as a throwaway sentence? Over false allegations? I didn't make any allegations. I said what someone else...
Bro, this guy needs to just stop talking about allegations. I gotta be... Like, he just needs to stop, bro. This is not his strong suit.
...said, and I was wrong to do that, but, like, there are so many comments like this everywhere.
I don't particularly think that was ever a great response in the situation. Like, yes, just because you regurgitated what somebody else said, when it comes to something this serious, it probably should have been something that you were 100% on the money for. It's a pretty massive fuck-up, and it's not a fuck-up that you can just, put in a pinned comment or a, side channel that...
No, but if he did remove it, then that... Okay.
People...
Well, no, it sounds like he removed it and he made a follow-up video.
May or may not see. At the end of the day, when it involves something incredibly serious, like, incredibly serious, like sexual assault stuff, you should 100% correct the record and make a actual real... It doesn't have to be like you slapping yourself in the face in front of it. It just really has to be a sincere apology that, again, you post on a main channel. The reason I'm doing this video, for instance, on a main channel is because I really do want to set the record straight. I really don't have anything to hide, and to be...
What did he say on it? I'm going to pull this up. So, Taku...
A person?
Who is Bunty King?
Nicholas DeOrio?
Taku... Taiga. I mean, I think this is like a weird point to put in this video now. Oh god, you want to watch the dude? The Rev says Disu guy is covering it. I wonder what his position on this is. I wonder what is his move here. Yeah, no, I'm good. If you ever get into a fight with that guy, your replies are gonna be fucking nuked. The Nux Taku drama is crazy, stalking and harassment.
So over the past couple of weeks, there's obviously been a lot of drama surrounding Nux Taku, Shadman, and most recently Tiger. For those unaware,
okay.
Second channel, he made a video called Awful Situation with Tiger in the
Oh, shout out to Iox. Let me see this.
thumbnail. This would have been a good chance to make a good response, but instead he makes a short bad faith segment at the very end that lasts for about 4 minutes.
Oh, so it's like when fucking Mr. T Lexify addressed his girlfriend's thing at the end of a different video.
Still getting basic details wrong, claiming that Tiger had hired the private investigator for one.
Tiger was exonerated of the grooming allegations by a private eye that he hired, and I made a huge up.
He did apologize once again, but it doesn't really come off as particularly meaningful, and it's as if he's just trying to say it for the sake of it, so he can later bring up how much he's apologized. He also talks about his response that happened in the podcast, claiming it was 10 minutes in he mentioned it, when it was actually 20.
I also apologized again publicly on our podcast in the first 10 minutes of an episode, which, by the way, got way more views than the video where I originally peddled the false allegation.
This just seems like he's trying to frame it favorably, as if he'd included it at the peak of the viewership for that video, when he clearly hadn't.
No, because obviously if the video has like after the stories come out, it's like, well, thanks, you've corrected it, but you definitely contribute in some way.
Overall, it's looking pretty bad for Nux
What the fuck is that thing?
here, and so far all of his response for that video, when he clearly hadn't. Overall, it's looking
Okay, I'm good. All right, I think I get it now.
Be honest with you, when it comes to a situation like this, it's best that I set the record straight with my community. I'm not ashamed of involving people that wouldn't know about it. I don't really want to hide things under a rug because I have nothing to hide.
That's Tyga? Bro, why are all these people women? Why are all their avatars women? Why is every fucking VTuber the only VTuber I've seen that's not a woman is Flamenco. I don't understand it at all.
You know, at the end of the day, that, to me...
No, I understand that he's not a woman. Like, I'm talking about why is his character a woman? Wait, that's a femboy? Okay, whatever. Everything I learn about these people is against my will.
...is more shady. I've called people out for really bad behavior, and I think this is probably some of the worst that I've seen, especially when it comes to reporting on something that you probably never should have in the first place, especially when it would have cost somebody, a lot of issues down the road.
It's not a woman. I'm understanding now. I'm sorry. I didn't. There's a fine line between a femboy VTuber fake person avatar and a woman VTuber fake person avatar. I don't know. I'm not trying to critique the artist that created it. Obviously, I don't know.
Right. Even the comment section over here isn't entirely happy about the situation, because obviously they say, if you know how the internet works, then you'll know why that little clip can end a career of somebody. You said it, people are calling other people's stuff, but it never gets to somewhere because they don't have to reach.
All right, so what I got here is that the response, I don't think Muta explained that well enough. Nux Taku's response that he gave right there was bullshit. Like he was laying it on extra thick to make himself sound better. Okay, now we got it.
But if some idiot with almost 800k subs, it doesn't matter if 1 million people see it. At least 1/8 of them are going to clip it and repost it, which is really true. If you make a...
Compare Nux's apology to Taiga to Nux apologizing to Vishojo? Listen to his tone of voice. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I don't even know what the fuck that is. I have no idea what that is.
Serious fuck up like that, I think not only is removing the video a big problem, but you really got to go onto your main channel and address these situations. If you make a fuck up, especially one where you inadvertently end up slandering somebody, you got to cover for that.
Chad, if you want to hear more about this story, boy, do I have a channel for you. Go watch Queeman. Where's Queeman? He's got 50 VODs on this. I guarantee he knows more about Vishojo than I do. Is it Vishojo The Bizarre Adventures? Is that what we're talking about? Vishojo's Bizarre Adventures?
And the reason I also bring this situation up is I don't condone any situation where people are this mishandling with the truth, right? It's never good in my opinion, and I cannot ever work with somebody or, again, be friendly with somebody who has made a mistake like this. Because ultimately, it's fine to make mistakes, but to really just...
I watched Dragon Ball. When is the... Dude, I cannot wait. Guys, I am so excited for the English dub of Dragon Ball Daima. Wait, no, they're all kids too. Fuck, dude, I hate anime.
Let it fester for this long without actually making right on it, because again, if you ignore something on the internet long enough, there's a good chance that it'll go away, right? If I ignored this whole situation with my fuck up, it would probably have gone away, but that would be very hypocritical of me to do, and that's not something I want to contribute to, at least on my time on the internet. I also feel that for this one person having some exoneration on a channel, you know, where at least if they weren't guilty of really heinous crimes, at least they get their word out, which at least happened over here. So now I want to move on to something related to our podcast. Now, at the time when we were looking at this whole situation,
dude, I'm gonna pull a tipster. I'm gonna just start throwing away Dragon Ball memorabilia. I'm gonna find like the DVDs of the Frieza saga that I had when I was like 10 years old and be like, all right, guys, I can't watch this anymore. Sorry, future Trunks. You were really cool. And I just like dropping them into the garbage can on stream. Sorry, Teen Goku toy or whatever. This was cool when I was 11, but now it's predatory. I'm deleting it.
The Some Ordinary podcast ending was the Shadman leaks coming out to the entire world. A lot of creators back in 2016 would contact and discuss things with Shadman, right?
All right, now we're back to things I understand, guys. The amazing coverage that you guys are well aware is on this channel is back, guys.
Shadman is a pretty infamous creator that I have very
Shadman is like the most prolific child enjoyer artist that has ever been on YouTube.
condemned. This is somebody that has drawn...
He enjoys drawing children, all right? That's what I mean by that, obviously.
Actual
legally
material of real individuals, real children, one of those children being Keemstar's kid, and has basically been an open degenerate in the community. Now, the thing is, a lot of creators ended up being friendly with the guy. A lot of people contacted them, and one of them ended up being nuts.
By the way, speaking of tipster, I gotta give it to the man. Me, when I log into Twitter and see the current discourse in the creator spaces about Lolicon. I gotta give it to the guy, bro. When he got one, he got one.
Taku, who Nux had at the time said, hey, probably this guy, right? A bit too middle school. You know, when Shadman...
Dude, there's finally a lolly controversy where Tipster doesn't join in and be like, guys, as an anime expert myself. Dude, he's finally learned.
Saying a bit too middle school, ooh. Want to collab? LMAO, no, but your heart's in the right place. Understandable, have a nice day.
Again, Nux Taku's like, well, I was doing it to troll him. And it's like, it's entirely if you believe that explanation, and I just don't. I'm sorry.
Hey, now when I just asked Nux about this, obviously in a call, he pretty much told me that this was going to be an interview where he was going to troll and, you know, grill Shadman. Now, obviously it didn't happen, so I can't confirm or deny if this was actually...
Didn't he say on the podcast?
But the thing about...
I'm pretty sure on the podcast, wait. So he was going to go on and troll Shadman. What was he going to troll him about? Because I went on the Some Ordinary podcast and I was watching the final episode, right?
It's a bit more restructuring there. In my opinion.
And he said this.
It's a terrible...
The scare on...
I want Nuts' relationship with...
Where is it?
Especially because I would make fun of his on YouTube back in the day, and I guess that's kind of his wheelhouse, so he would message me weird shit. That does not mean I endorse him at all, obviously. Especially because I would make fun of his messages to me. Every time like he would come up, I would make fun of those messages. So that was one thing. The other one is I used his art in a thumbnail once, and I didn't know it was
what was the beginning of this? Hold on, let's go back.
zero relationship.
Well, I want you to explain like the whole messages, because it was like you were setting up a collab to like just
yeah, this is the one. Listen to this.
And like shit on him, kind of like the Andrew Tate and like an Oompaville collab. Not necessarily meant to be two friends in a room together. Just
So
one guy.
first of all, he would DM me stuff randomly. Like I was making like the hentai game show videos on YouTube.
Sorry,
back
somebody
in the
asked
day,
to see his
and,
horrible.
I guess that's kind of his wheelhouse. So he would
Avatar.
message me weird shit. That does not mean I endorse him at all, obviously. Especially because I would make fun of his messages to me every time. Like he would come up, I would make fun of those messages. So that was one thing. The other one is I used his art in a thumbnail once. And I didn't know it was his art. And the second I knew it was his art, I actually changed the art. This is like going back 3 years ago. This isn't like I just changed the art last week. I changed it a long time ago.
This is in the video?
I asked him to collab. This is
whatever. We're just looking at it in full.
before I knew he was drawing the Keemstar's daughter.
Yeah, okay, all right, look. I was calling him to troll, right? And then he says this.
Ago, and I asked him to collab. This is before I knew he was drawing the Keemstar's daughter situation. I did not know about that at that point in time.
So like, what were you trolling him about? You had no idea that he draws like children? This is before, guys, before the Keemstar's daughter thing, I was getting this guy on to troll. You want it both ways. One, you didn't know, and two, you were going to troll him for the type of stuff he was sending you. It's just kind of weird.
What it is obviously as this was happening, this was on the
And again, guys, it's not just Keemstar's daughter. Apparently, there was a second image of Keemstar's daughter that I wasn't even aware of the last time I covered this. That Keem, I asked Keem if it was real because I heard someone say it, and he eventually said yeah, that it was, which is gross. It's way worse than the other one, supposedly. But there was also what happened to Daphne Keane, X-23, new Deadpool movie, old Deadpool movie, Logan. Not old Deadpool movie, Logan movie. Like, his website was getting shut down because he made like a comic of like Wolverine raping a child. And then like the team of Daphne Keane saw this, right? And then they tried to shut his website down. And all the YouTubers were defending his website's right to exist based on a free speech issue of him like drawing like child abuse material on his fucking site. So... okay, again, I don't know the timeline in which that message was sent, but all of these YouTubers who claim they just had no idea that this was happening, like, this was a huge story. This guy's site's getting shut down by fucking Hollywood. Okay, like, this is crazy. And you had to have found out at some point.
Iteration of the podcast ending. So I was on somebody's channel known as Chud Logic who actually talked about the situation. I actually ended up going onto his channel and saying something that I probably shouldn't have because the situation regarding the podcast was very fluid. And I'll explain that in a bit. But I want you to hear this clip so I can better explain it and also acknowledge a fuck up I made.
That's never okay.
Okay. Are you going to keep him off the podcast?
No.
Ashoka Tano Gaming. X-23 is technically Logan's daughter, so it's technically incest as well. You know, I was so happy to stream today until I read that message, and now my brain just wants to explode.
What is Bunty King
Thanks.
to you?
A person?
Who is Bunty King?
I was so...
Nicholas DeOrio?
My life was so much better before I considered the full context of what was happening.
We would cancel the podcast.
Thanks for your input.
It's not happening. The podcast is done.
This is hard because obviously, you know, people want me
Podcast is done, yeah. Podcast is done now.
Wait, what?
My bad. I was gonna say I didn't know people needed that info. My bad. And this is the Chud stuff, and I do feel bad for the shit that Chud got because of this. But yeah, listen to this.
People want me
Podcast is done, yeah. Podcast is done now.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the podcast is over. We are not filming the last episode. It's over.
Is that are you serious?
Yeah, we're not doing the podcast anymore. It's done.
Why?
We're supposed to film on Tuesday. Well, there's a couple reasons for it. A lot of that was obviously some of the Shad stuff too.
So it's like a lot of that is like some of the Shad stuff too, and they pretty much indicated it wasn't when they went and actually did the show, which is why Muda's audience or whatever gave Chud such a hard time. But the quote is here. He's the guy who said it. I'm glad he's apologizing for it now. I think he apologized for it when we had him on. Funny story about that. I was in Chud's call and I said, hey, Muda, you want to talk to Chud? He's pretty upset about this. And he said, oh, okay, yeah, did I fuck him over? And he called in and I didn't prepare him well enough because I didn't know how mad Chud actually was. So I thought I was just setting up like a calm interaction. And again, if Chud being mad is totally justified, I get it. But I just wish I gave like a bigger heads up, like, hey, coming in hot, I felt like would have been more appropriate. But Chud just started fucking screaming at him. It was one of the funniest clips I've ever seen. I think Muta didn't even connect his headset yet. He's like, listen, mate, you fucking asshole. Does anyone have that clip? Chud, like, did Chud ever upload that where he just starts screaming at Mutahar? Bro, I felt like such an asshole because I was like, hey, dude, we can just clear this whole thing with Chud up if you want to jump on stream. And then fucking Chud just ran him off the road. Let me see. Where is this? Nick, you speak as if Muta kept the video up. I mean, you could just watch the stream. I mentioned like 16 times that it's not up. But again, we're going in chronological order. Let me see. Mutahar, Chud, Logic. Smaggle, DM it to me if you have it, but I don't know if you do. Mutahar lied to all of us.
Talking about.
Bro, isn't that a Japanese schoolgirl outfit?
What is Mutahar demands answers from Nux Taku? Is this it?
Okay, this is all rambling that you're doing to distract from the issue, Mutahar. Let's cut to the fucking chase here, okay? Honestly representing his...
All right.
You guys have got me all relaxed.
Okay, so just for context, you're gonna see it right here. I did not know this was happening like this. We were just talking about it on stream, and I was shitting on Nux. And I tried to get Muta in, and I got a message to Muta off, and I didn't adequately prepare him. Yeah, he's coming.
All right.
You guys have got me all relaxed.
Chud feels better now. Chud feels better.
Mutahar, you lying fucking scumbag! What?
I was not ready for that, and he's not even joking either. I just totally misrepresented this fucking interaction. Chud feels better now. Chud feels better.
Mutahar, you lying fucking scumbag! What is your problem, dude? Why did you throw me under the bus with some dude that's got lolly in his videos? What is your problem?
Hello?
Dude, that is one of my favorite Chud clips ever, bro. Holy shit, dude. Holy shit. Hello?
What's your problem, dude? Why did you throw me under the bus with some dude that's got lolly in his videos? What is your problem?
Hello?
Was that a bit? Is that a bit? Are you doing a bit, Mutahar? I just got mogged.
You just got low taper faded.
Hello?
Base!
Hello, how's it going, mate?
You good? Going good. I just plugged in my headset, sorry.
Who cares? Okay. Did you hear what I just said by any chance?
I have no idea what you just said.
Okay, I called you a lot of things, but we're going to put that to one side. And I'm just going to ask.
So yeah, they had a big confrontation. But again, like, I'm pretty sure he apologizes here. If he didn't apologize here directly, I think, yeah, I mean, he definitely does now. It's a shitty situation. Because Chud got totally, fucked here. And I tried to explain to him about, like, the podcast stuff and, like, why the podcast broke up. But then he just says, like, yeah, dude, Nux is part of the reason. So it's like, you can't even blame Chud for putting that out. Because, I mean, to be clear, it probably was part of the reason.
We were kind of sitting there, we're like, me and Caleb, we were just like, this is, I don't know, it's weird. The other thing was we just want to redo things maybe like 2 months down the road or something.
So this is a pretty big point and one that I can finally really discuss. Now, obviously, if you listen to that, it kind of sounds like I'm snaking him. I give him an answer where it says, you know, there's a lot of reasons, but a lot of it is the Shadman stuff, which at the time, as this was kind of breaking down, you know, everyone in the community was going, whoa, 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 you're connecting with this guy, you're talking to him. Yeah, that kind of was one thing that was brought up. But obviously, in a call that, you know, I guess I had with Nux personally.
Dude, sorry, Chud Logic just broke through the void of time to start yelling at him. Wait, I want to play that. What does that sound like?
Just brought up. But obviously, in a call that, you know, I guess I had with Nux personally, this was discussed as like a collaboration.
Okay, this is all rambling that you're doing to distract from the issue, Mutahar. Let's...
Why does that fit so well, dude? Dude, Chud just explodes through the fucking screen.
Huge thing that I wasn't really privy to discuss at the time. Now, the podcast ended for, again, us not actually owning any of it. So to give you an idea about how it works, right? The company that I was with at the time, the management company...
Yeah, so people said, like, is it an apology still? Like, he did apologize at the time.
Okay, but
that's about
listen,
it. Like, I'm
so would
sorry
you
that I
say-
fucking made you look terrible. I really
No,
am.
so would you say that you, like he did apologize in this? I don't know where the other means.
Okay, but
that's about
listen,
it. Like, I'm
so would
sorry
you
that I
say-
fucking made you look terrible.
Where was the third one?
I mean,
I
we either now
appreciate
arrange
you-
something. Sorry,
Yeah,
go on.
I appreciate you bringing me on the show, and even at the time, I do want to fucking very much apologize because I made you look terrible with the shitty explanation I gave.
So like even
And
if
my
even if he
explanation-
deleted it, he has like apologized to Chud. Like that has happened. That's not like he needs to do another one or whatever. He has apologized to him multiple times.
They managed my channel, and specifically Oompaville's channel. Now, if you notice towards the tail end of the podcast, Oompaville really wasn't showing
You may not know Nux Taku on his channel said Chud clipped Muta out of context. Could somebody link me that when I heard about it? I've never heard it.
up for a lot of episodes. There was actually a point where like it would be like 1 week out of the month he would actually make an appearance. And it wasn't because, you know, all of a sudden there was some falling out between us or anything. It was that there was a behind-the-scenes issue with Nano Zebra and how some of the things on the podcast was done. I believe payment wasn't really necessarily brought towards Oompaville, and they had like another deal that wasn't really met well. Now, at the time, me, Oompaville, Isaiah, Tom, Brandon were out filming in Texas, and Wendigoon actually brings up, you know, how things are going over at mana.gg, another talent agency. So me and
So what is this one?
This fucking
Okay, Jesus, that's not the clip I was expecting. I was not expecting that. What the fuck did I just click on, dude? Holy shit, dude. What the fuck? Can I play this? Holy shit.
This fucking freak got swept for, and it made me look like I was being a fucking retard. It's
Dude, I love this so much. I love him fucking streaming, bro. This is the only guy to watch in the daytime. Dude, I gotta hear that one more time. Dude.
This fucking freak got swept for, and it made me look like I was being a fucking retard. It's completely obscene. It is totally fucking obscene, bro. What the fuck was Mutahar thinking? This is fucking obscenity. This is totally obscene, okay? Moves were made that called into question the quality of my fucking reporting, okay?
Yeah, he's totally spitting. This is true. Okay. Is that it? Yeah, that was the end of that clip. Here, let me just... Fuck. Like, damn it. Got it. Yeah. I was expecting the other clip, but thank you for that. Play that. It's... Okay, I'm only being sent that clip.
Caleb kind of get like a little pitch out of it, and we basically want to work with this mana group because they're going to do a lot more things in the future that would help us with ventures we want going into our channel into 2025 and beyond. So me and Caleb effectively just cut ties with Nano Zebra. We fill in our resignations, and we move on to Mana, and this happened around 3 to 4 months ago. So as this happened, the podcast was under management and, you know, again, I believe partial, if not near full ownership of Nano Zebra. So at the time, it was like, hey, what do we do about this podcast, right? Like, do we fight for rights for it? And obviously, not really. You don't need to. If you're the main talent, the 3 big people, you are the draw for the show. So it really became a situation where me and Caleb said, yeah, fuck it. We'll just make a new show and we'll move it to a new location. Hopefully something IRL, obviously, where, you know, it kind of has more of a professional feel and one that we can obviously manage better. The podcast wasn't the perfect managed podcast ever. There was moments where guests would show up literally like last minute, and a lot of those guests actually did come because of Nux's massive collaborative efforts. Some of the guests...
All right. So, yeah, they had a bunch of guests on the podcast. The podcast was, I don't know. It doesn't really matter.
I brought, some of the guests Caleb brought, but it was not something where we even had a docket for a lot of the shows, right? It was really just we showed up, we yapped. The yapping wasn't exactly...
Again, it's the same way we film Half Baked. By the way, we were bringing that back again. I mean, that's back or whatever. Half Baked is just going to be a casual, whenever we feel like we want to upload type thing. But we're doing one for December.
Structured, and there were some
Filmed
episodes
today.
you could probably look at and realize they were pretty fucking phoned in. So at the end of the day, the podcast ended pretty inconveniently timed with this whole Shadman stuff. Now, obviously, you know, we did...
The thing is, it's not really inconveniently timed if it's a contributing factor as to why it was shutting down. It's inconvenient that, like, the back-end stuff was happening at the same time because we'll never know if the podcast was actually going to end over the Shadman stuff, but yeah. Again, though, I think Nux is like a horrible person, so I'm kind of upset that this video has been taken down.
Or at least I looked into the Nux stuff myself too, the Shadman stuff, because there wasn't really any collaboration, never really went anywhere. It didn't become the, sole focus reason. But yeah, the actual reasons for why this podcast ended were a lot of boring business stuff. We just didn't own it. So it was a lot better for us to make a new podcast, make an entirely new name out of it, and me and Caleb can move that going forward. And obviously, somebody else can come on that is not Nux, but you understand now the real situation. Now, at the time, I couldn't really bring this up because when you're leaving a contract and you're leaving a company and you're going to a new company, you really don't want to disparage somebody, not because it's not the legal thing to do, but also it's just not something you want to do, right? It's just not really professional at all. You don't want to disparage another company. You don't want to go out and make things look worse than they really are. It really was a pretty amicable breakup. We left, we moved to a new company, and underneath that new company, or really under our company, we're going to bring back this podcast with obviously, different branding and whatnot. So that's really the fucking boring answer that it took me months to really tell you. And it took me months because now I've completely severed ties.
Again, I don't think this is a terrible video based off of what he's saying here. This is the link. This is the one where he goes after Chud Logic.
Currently.
I mean, if this video is still up, I wouldn't be saying as many negative things.
Ladies and gentlemen, a couple days ago at this point, I was on a podcast, or not a podcast, but I was on a live stream with a creator known as Chud Logic, and I wasn't exactly clear as to the ending of the podcast, which really is an ending. Let me be more clear with you. The timing of this is actually purely coincidental, like you see on all those...
Yeah, this is the clip. This is the one. Watch it.
Disclaimers for any movie or television show you're watching, or video game that you're playing. No, in reality, what actually happened is me and Caleb, we have our own kind of thing over here that, ultimately, behind the scenes, the podcast and rather the own...
All right, where does he say it?
What the podcast should really be. If you haven't noticed, the weekly podcast, some of the episodes might have been a little bit phoned in. There was a lot of rambling. So me and Caleb and Nux have basically decided that it's better to restructure the podcast.
All right, we know all this part. Move. Say the thing.
Basically have ownership ourselves, and to the point of actually making a set, so we do more IRL stuff. So a lot of it is really set on, building a set. I'm flying down to Texas more often, hopefully down the road, to be filming IRL and doing the podcast with Caleb, more so like you would see with typical IRL style podcasts, where you can actually do the hosts on camera sitting next to each other, and one where we don't necessarily even need to have a guest every week, try to figure out how to get Nux on the entire...
Why is Nux Taku bad? Because he's a major hypocrite. He clickbaits lolicon and bestiality. He's a VTuber, so that's just a fucking huge knock against him. He's defended some pretty fucking disgusting shit. There's a list of reasons, and his voice.
Show, being the fact that he lives in an NFT land and an NFT world, so to get him onto the actual podcast is another challenge itself. So it's really something where we're taking some time to stop the podcast, restructure, and possibly rebrand it and get the ownership directly under all three of us, which is something we didn't necessarily have with the Some Ordinary podcast. So I hope that clears things up. The timing was purely coincidental, and obviously I would love to work with Nux and Caleb again and get this podcast more structured in a way that we really want to push.
And again, at this point, he was totally okay with working with Nux again here.
Especially with the quality that we imagine, and to my friend Nux.
But anyway, the point is, people going crazy in the quote retweets back on my original tweet when I said they not like us in regards to Chris Tyson, stuff like this, for 43,000 likes, basically calling me a pedophile for no reason. Nux, you are a lolicon defender, which is ironic because I was literally in drama a year and a half ago. Because
I have no idea why he took it down.
I do not like lolly porn.
Well, he gives us an explanation later, but I don't know.
And the anime community came for me because I do not like lolly porn, which is it's kind of ironic. I literally got canceled from both sides of the aisle on this one. Imagine getting canceled for not liking lolly porn and then getting canceled.
Oh, this is the clip. Sorry.
Out of context, in the ugliest possible of ways. So I will.
Here, listen to this.
Coming off the heels of the clip that everyone is going wild over.
Podcast is done, yeah. Podcast is done now.
Yeah, so this is coming off the heels of the Shadman discussion. So it really does look like, Shadman stuff happens, Nux caught in the crossfire, podcast done. Realistically, podcast being done is for completely other reasons, and it is a total coincidence that it's happening at the same time as the Shadman stuff. Again, I don't expect people to believe me because people are taking everything I say out of context in the ugliest possible of ways. So
again, because the clip's just not out of context. That was what Mutahar said. So, yeah, it's pretty weird to come in here and defend that, I guess. And that's not the case.
With Nano Zebra, and I've been with Mana GG.
I've unblocked Samuel, the very iconic Samuel.
For, I want to say 3 months at this point, officially signed on. So yeah, that's really the answer. Now, in the case of Chud Logic, who did in fact take the words that I had put out and had relayed them, he really...
Who's worse, Nux or Flamenco? By any metric, Flamenco. By every metric, Flamenco.
He felt that I kind of snaked him and gave him misinformation or outright lied to him. And the reality of it is, honestly, the situation was just so fluid at the time that we didn't even know that things like the last episode were going to be filmed, right? And ultimately that last episode did end up getting filmed, so things kind of did end on a, regular note. But when it came to Chud, there's definitely an apology that I feel I should give there, right? Like, I could argue this and I could keep fighting it, but at the end of the day,
this is all fine.
That obviously if what I have said has led to some wronging for another person, then I am not above an apology. Look, I don't
respect you. So I respect
no! What am I gonna do?
Muta has not fully apologized or taken accountability for tossing Chud under the bus.
So
Muta won't take the full L without blaming that creep Nux. He's a coward for deleting. Muta has many subs though. I get it, but it's a bad look.
Okay, so here's the issue I have with this comment. Thank you for the donation. I do think he has fully apologized twice. I think he's been very clear about why he's apologizing. Like that was obvious from the clip we just saw and in the previous clip. But that's up to Chud to accept it, not me. So you could ask Chud more of where his position on that is. If he doesn't accept it, then that's whatever, cool. But I think Muta has made the effort. And I do think it's important to explain what happened with the clip that's being talked about. The Taiga stuff, you might be barking up the right tree on, because that's not really relevant to the subject matter of this video. But for the most part, there's not really... I might cut out like 5 minutes of fat here and put a similar video out if I'm in his position.
Big to fail or too egotistical.
And then not delete it, of course, because, I mean, deleting it, if anything, just kind of makes you look weak.
To realize when what I've done can have consequences for other people, and for that I do humbly apologize. And that's really where I want to kind of leave things at. So, sorry, Chud.
Now, one comment that I saw on Reddit that I want to address too, because obviously this is a pretty good reflection of somebody that is very properly critical of me, right? Somebody that is actually hitting me with hard questions. So one user, Nostra Clonoa, says, personally, if you're asking me, I think it's weird that you don't look into the background history of your friends.
So again, we're responding to like a random Redditor here. I have to imagine the reason why the video is down, without speaking to him, because I didn't even ask him prior to streaming why it's down, probably had something to do with the response of the video on Reddit. I maybe it's shot in the dark here. I just don't know why any of this stuff matters. Like, I posted on Twitter for a joke or whatever, but I don't know why you're hinging why you're taking videos down over Reddit.
And the people you're just perfectly fine platforming. Again, we kind of did a podcast together. Everyone was a sizable creator. I don't really think that it is specifically me platforming, right? This is just 3 larger creators at the time.
He's taking it down over Rev Says Disu fan. I mean, it's very possible too, but again, the types of people who are getting mad at him on Reddit for that reason are probably like the same type of person, I guess. So yeah, I guess YouTube comment section, getting hate from that. It's just, you kind of got to let a video like this ride. You know it's going to be controversial. Anytime you talk about Lolly in any sort of way, those Rev fans are going to fill your fucking comment section up with like the most degenerate, disgusting, depraved shit. So I don't really know. Well, I don't know what he's expecting. Again, you just kind of got to tough it out and leave the video up.
You allowed Mama Max to run rampant for years. Again, I wasn't the only large creator that worked with Mama Max or collaborated or, at some point patted him on the back.
Grow a spine and say he fucked up and move on. I mean, I feel like that's what he said in the video. That's kind of the entire point of the video, is him saying that he fucked up. I don't know.
Reality of it is there was plenty of creators. I was just one of the guys that came out and really absolutely threw him through the ringer, as I'm doing with Nux.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. If the guy comes out and says, hey, I'm a bad judge of character. Hey, I watched this thing. I should have said something sooner. Hey, I fucking fucked over Chud Logic. I apologize for it. Like, I'm not really sure what else he's supposed to say. He's probably supposed to keep it up, if that's your point. But I feel like these criticisms wouldn't change the things I'm seeing in chat. I feel like there's not really much pleasing people for that. So I don't know.
Again, an explanation
who is
as to
King?
my side of the situation. The reality of it
I'd be reading the same stuff if this video is still up.
Have to come out and make these videos, but I choose to because I believe being accountable is important, and I'd be a total hypocrite because I call other people.
A lot of people supported Mama Max. Did he make that argument? That was not how I read that at all. I thought he was saying he supported Mama Max. Like, that was another one that he fucked up in the past. Unless I completely misunderstood what he was arguing there, I'm 99% sure that was like, hey, I was wrong about Nux Taku. I've been wrong about Mama Max before. I'm not the best judge of character. That is how I read that statement.
Out on crazy shit, and if I'm willing to completely sweep things under the rug and pretend like things don't exist, or show you actual things, then I am a pretty big fucking hypocrite on my own. So you blindly believe the allegations against Magnetar, which I apologize for, especially. You blindly believe the Night Docs was a creep, and you blindly let a guy like Nux Taku openly discuss and show freak shit in his thumbnails. Again, I don't control another person and their YouTube account, so I don't know what I can do with their thumbnails. But
I'm like,
again,
he is addressing this head on. Like, this is being addressed head on here.
You should talk to Kuiman or even Nicandros about this. I was a big Muta fan, but Kuiman was always right about Muta. He is lying and obfuscating facts here. He knew it was lowly, knew what it was, and engaged in edgy Degan anime.
Well, that's what I said, is like, when you're watching this stuff and it's from a high school, the implication is the stuff that you're watching is like, you normally expect someone to be uncomfortable in that situation if you're watching like sexualized people in a high school. I don't disagree with what you're saying there at all.
I do condemn, especially when these thumbnails are slyly changed. Again, I don't think they should have ever been used in the first place, and I don't want to work with somebody that believed these thumbnails were a good choice in the first place. You actively don't look into the folks you trust, and you just blindly allow them to say whatever without having critical thought about a single bit of it. So again, I don't really watch a lot of content creators that I collaborate with, and nobody really does, okay? Like, at the end of the day, when it came to Nux's channel, here I'm signed on with my actual...
Oh no! What am I gonna do?
So, I think people need to be more elitist. That's the problem. If you're not going to watch the people you collaborate with, then just stop promoting them. Or, like, working with them. I don't know. At this point, I feel like that's kind of got to be the way you go about it. You kind of have to, like, know something about these guys. I don't know. I've just been bit way too many times with, like, retarded people. The easiest way to get fucked over if you're doing nothing wrong is to be around somebody who's, like, completely psychotic and then jump in and defend them for no reason. And that is what Mutahar did. Because by jumping in that video to defend Nux Taku from the Shadman stuff and to further dig Chud deeper, like, if you don't know this guy well enough, why are you appearing in his YouTube video to defend him? That's, like, retarded. So you could say, like, I don't know this guy well enough here, but, like, when I see that other clip, it's just like, I mean, man, at that point, I don't know. The bell's got to ring a little faster.
YouTube account, and if it's one thing that you'll see, usually under videos, there'll be, like, a red bar. I don't have a red bar under basically any of these videos. I think the only video I have an actual red bar in this is probably... I showed YouTubers the most cultured clips, which I actually browsed through just for the sake of, again, this video. So yeah, Nux is somebody that I did a podcast with, but it's not that I watched any of this content beforehand.
And again, people are saying it in chat right now. You just pull up the screenshot of his chat. Or it's his YouTube channel, and just look at, like, the types of thumbnails. Look at the content he's making. Surely this would raise some questions, right? I mean, it's on the screen. He's saying, like, I didn't watch his content. And then, like, I mean... it's on... This is his video. Like, you see where this criticism comes from, right?
Right? Again, this was somebody that was very popular in a community of people beyond just anime and VTubing, and it led some credibility. And again, the only reason I'm making this video now is to take accountability and to really, again, condemn the behavior that this person actually exhibited. Again, that's really the reality of it. Even if you look at other friends of mine, like Oompaville, you can see literally I watch the content that I'm interested in, right? Like Mr. Beast's response, him saying he's retiring, Fuzi crash outs, a sad AI situation, smart school.
You're saying that you could do 136 podcasts with a guy who you never watched their content? Yeah. I've probably done 100 episodes with Boblax. Now, it didn't bite me in the ass the same way, but I never watch this shit. Even when he asks me to.
Boy 9, these are things that I actually watch, right? Guys like Wendigoon, great friend, love Isaiah, but I think the only video out of his that I've watched...
I mean, I was friends with Tipster for like 3 years, and I don't think I'd ever watched a single stream for more than 20 minutes.
is probably the disturbing and controversial video game iceberg, and more specifically, Faith 3D.
I haven't watched a Turkey Tom main channel video in 2 years. And I filmed the podcast with him today.
More a video gaming YouTuber for me, especially when he covers things like this. And this goes for a lot of my favorite YouTube friends, okay?
Dude, I watch videos about watches. I watch, like, EFAP. Dude, I don't think you guys understand this. Like, I like talking about drama, but I don't want to ruin my content by knowing everything before I go in. Like, that's the fun part of this. Like, if I watch that Hassan video on somebody else's stream, unironically, I would have, like, been totally spoiled that he talked about me in it. That's why it was way better. But, I mean, the most drama content I watch, unironically, is Chud Logic. Like, that is 99% of my drama content that I personally, the guy that you're watching watches, is Chud Logic. That's literally the best endorsement I can give somebody.
Moist Critical don't watch every single Charlie video out there. In fact, I don't really watch much of YouTubers unless it comes to really, really specific things like speedrunning or, I don't know, 4-hour-long video game retrospectives. And again, this isn't really a defense. I most definitely should have actually been vetting people. And that's why going into, again, the future of my channel, I definitely want to keep collaborations to a minimum.
Now, he's going to be heavily criticized for this in the future. I think that you can only do this so many times, and the Mama Max one and the Nux Taku one are close enough together that it's okay. But I do think that, like, in the future, whoever he associates with is going to be scrutinized significantly harder now. Because you only get so many of these.
And if you're going to make mistakes, you got to fucking learn from them. If you actively looked into Nux, you'd spot the weird pattern of shit that follows the man, especially with Mama Max. I don't know if it's a bias you have, but if you're going to be critical of others, which I am, expect people to be critical of you when you platform weirdos and don't actually vet them. And I totally understand that criticism, and it's not something I want to actually keep happening in the future, okay? So if you make a video complaining about the fact that you're being criticized here, I won't be surprised if you snip half of this post and then act like we're all stupid, which I'm not. I literally will not do that, okay? If it's one thing that I don't do ever, all right, and you're a long-time watcher, I'm not going to fucking snip a post, okay? I'll respond to the whole thing. There's genuine criticisms of you that people are making in good faith because they like you and your content, exactly. And for those people, I'm making a video like this to really, again, address these situations. If you ignore that, that's on you.
I see why he used this Reddit post, because it kind of does wrap the video up to address everything here.
This is the second time now that you don't vet people and blindly vouch for them. Again, Mama Max, the example used before, it wasn't just me vouching for this guy. Everyone in the community.
Okay, so this is what the other chatter was talking about before.
Did until, of course, shit hit the fan. People really started looking into this.
But this is why I hate the commentary community sometimes. Like, I legitimately, like, fucking hate some of these people. And I think, like, Pegasus is, like, the perfect scapegoat of people that I fucking despise who make YouTube content. Because it's always like, well, a lot of people went with this, right? Sure, I understand how a lot of people can get something wrong, but, like, there are also people in this space who are absolutely happy to be, like, wrong as long as it's financially lucrative. And people like Pegasus don't actually give a fuck about the truth. The only time they'll cover the truth is as if it's more financially viable to correct the story. It's like the Cheeto paradox. I can't make a follow-up video because it won't get any views to correct the thing that I personally fucked up. Right? So they're not incentivized to correct anything or tell the truth. They're incentivized to do what people want to click on. And if there's a jerk wave going on, well, people are going to want to click on the negative video. So that's what drives me crazy. There's like a fucking incestuous commentary community right now that is a for-profit misinformation machine or whatever. And then whenever it gets called out, they all have like a huge pity party for themselves. Oh my God. I can't believe this turnaround. What? Wow, this plot twist is crazy. Guys, we really got to be better at this in the future. It's like, no, it's a for-profit misinformation machine. You guys have been stomping us down who have been trying to correct a story for 3 fucking months. I'm not going to sit around here and do the whole feel bad for me, we've been misled again thing every single time I call somebody out and get completely fucking ignored. Whatever.
Content, and even then, I was one of the large YouTubers that came out and really actually mentioned that, took accountability, in my personal opinion, and owned up to it. Really breaks the immersion.
Just to be clear, Nux videos are him showing something for shock value, not to the audience, and they didn't know in advance what Nux would be showing them. It's like, yeah, I understand that from like Charlie's perspective, or I understand that from Muta's perspective, and I don't think that Muta jerks off to fucking Lolicon. I think that's based off of this video or the fucking Hassan Piker clip. I think that's a ridiculous takeaway. But there is something to be said because they are looking at it. You can say something. You can say like, hey dude, this isn't just shocking, this is weird. Why are you showing me this? And like, you'd hope that that self-preservation kicks in. Like, this is being recorded right now. This is going on YouTube. Like, where's the fight or flight here? Fuck the ethics. Fuck the morals. Where's your fight or flight? Why are you letting this guy film you watch fucking weird hentai sexual content in a fucking high school? Like, why is your brain not registering that you need to be out of this room? I don't know.
You try to make of being a respectable, neutral party, when you actually have vouched for monsters 2 times in the last 3 to 4 years. Which again, I do 100% apologize for, and it's something that I have to do better. I have to get rid of a blind spot, I have to get rid of biases. But yeah, when it comes to things like this and people, you know, alleging stuff like watching Loli on the down low.
He cared more about Nux's sub numbers? Muta's bigger than Nux, isn't he? Muta doesn't need Nux Taku for viewers. He probably needed it more for Gamer from Mars's podcast guests. I don't think it's a numbers game at all.
It's not something that
I think it's just ignorance. And I think I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's
What is Bunty King to you?
just the genuine not
Who is
caring.
Bunty King?
Probably.
Nicholas DeOrio?
Not giving a shit. Whatever it is, it's stupid.
It's not something that I ever want to do, and it's not something I condone. And for that, I do take accountability into not pushing back and stepping away from this situation. Your community can go harass everyone who doesn't like your opinion, because whether you believe it or not, you've got a hive mind of people who support you blindly. Which I shouldn't have, okay? You should be 100% critical of everyone.
You guys should be a hive mind, by the way. Every single thing I say, you agree with. Under no circumstance can you deviate from that.
I'm not an infallible person. I'm
especially when it's controversial.
Somebody that makes mistakes, as I'm describing in this video. And I do not ever endorse anybody in my community going out to harass somebody. If you harass somebody, you're not in the Some Ordinary Gamers community in my books. But unless you actually...
All right, listen. If you guys harass somebody with, like... All right, I was going to make a joke, but I'll actually get banned for it. Never mind.
Grow from how much you blindly believe people, you'll continue to make the same mistakes every time, which I don't want to. And that's why, again, I'm making these videos. Because I think taking accountability is very important.
No harassing people within reason.
Important. And obviously, I believe taking accountability on the main channel is very important too. Okay, that's just where it comes down to. And again, if people wonder why
if you're going to harass somebody, you damn well better do it in somebody else's name. Okay? Listen, guys, I hear Aiden Projects is like the #1 guy who wants to be credited.
Moved from the Reddit. Nobody moderates this Reddit but the Reddit automod. And if you look very carefully, it says removed by Reddit, which, to be honest with you, Nostra Klonoa, this wasn't me hiding anything. I'm just going to hit approve.
Chat, there are pedophiles in the Twitter community saying that they're Aiden Project viewers to identify each other.
On that, because this shit absolutely drives me insane. I think we've got to change the automod settings at some point. Now, obviously, I want to address some other, like, power round criticism before we end this off. Lol, fuck Muta. Dude's been a hypocrite forever as well. Dude virtue signals over cartoons, but loves watching beheading videos. So I want to also address this statement as well. Now, on the podcast, I talked about a morbid curiosity that I have with, like, beheading videos, like cartel stuff on the internet. And I feel like I have to explain this a little bit more. My morbid curiosity comes from the fact that for a long time, for years at this point, I've been looking into the Mexican drug war.
Who is Bunty King?
And if you ever followed, like, cartel social media, one of the weirdest things about their social media is you actually have, like, gang bosses, sicarios, like actual hitmen, like real hardened gangsters, posting on Instagram, TikTok, posting on really any social media platform, their mansions, their extravagant lifestyles, they've got gold guns, Ferraris. It's really crazy propaganda they use to really house people in. But if you look in Reddit boards like r/narco footage, a lot of these boards where they, catalog the Mexican drug war, you'll find plenty of uses of social media.
I cannot believe that there's a section of this video on the Mexican drug war. That is so crazy. Dude, anything can happen at a YouTube. It's actually unbelievable. I promise we're almost through this video and then we're actually going to get really spicy because I have some new information that is really funny and I cannot wait to deliver it.
Where the cartel uploads straight up beheadings, violence, takedowns as forms of intimidation. So realistically, I don't enjoy or love watching this kind of stuff. If you ever watch my dark web videos, my dry heaving is insane, okay? Even if gore is not on the screen, I will throw up even thinking about these situations. So I don't watch these things for fun. But to give you a context about it, when I do come across this stuff in that specific context, it's more of me watching these things as part of my ongoing private investigation and research and morbid curiosity of a drug war happening where cowboys are raking in billions of dollars 2 hours south of the border from, like, what, Los Angeles? Like,
all right, but like, guys, I only watch the beheading videos because it's part of my research. All right.
Literally right across the border of the United States from one of the richest countries in the world, you can have a nation where, again,
a little too much information here for me.
Billion-dollar gangs can effectively run entire portions of Mexico. It's an insane, wild...
I mean, he's selling me on, like, why I should care and why it's, like, interesting, but, like, I don't know. I think it's a little too much information.
You know, people talk about crazy, evil shit happening on the other side of the world.
Because you know what it's like? It's like some Pablo Escobar type shit. You guys remember when Pablo Escobar was on, like, Instagram trying to sell cell phones? Like, his estate after he died was trying to sell, like, the Escobar Fold Samsung phone. Like, all these, like, any gangster that posts on social media is inherently interesting. But usually they're, like, not active gangsters. That's usually not what you're seeing here. You're usually seeing, like, an old mob guy who clearly, like, murdered 15 people, who's just going on podcasts being like, hey, I'm Italian over here.
This is happening literally to the south of the border, and it's insane it's gone on this long.
I like that spaghetti! Yeah.
Obviously, I'm ending this video off on, you know, again, Taku is somebody that I have considered a friend at one point, but honestly, with a lot of these new things that have sort of come and resurfaced, and people have brought these things up to my attention.
Speaking of that, dude, I desperately want to get my hands on Tony Soprano's fucking watch. That thing looks sick. I didn't know a big guy could wear a fucking 36 millimeter, but the day date champagne presidential that he wears is beautiful.
It's not something I feel comfortable really even like looking at. Okay, I don't like lowly stuff, and honestly, in a lot of these clips where again Nux with
I think you can get one like from that timeline, like that time period, fairly cheap in comparison to a brand new one.
With me involved in these sort of competitions or these sort of like collaborations.
The morbid curiosity, like that Max. Yeah, doesn't this kind of sound like some of the Mama Max type shit? That's where my brain was at too.
Is not something I'm okay with. It's not something I like being attributed to, and it's something that I 100% condemn. So as far as there being a bridge between me and Nux Taku, it doesn't exist. And it won't ever exist. And honestly, looking at some of these clips again, and some of these thumbnails that have been changed around, and again, some of these other situations involving other VTubers that feel very wronged in these situations regarding Nux Taku, I don't feel comfortable ever associating with this person.
Good.
And regardless of whatever past or friendship that I've had, whatever that led to a blind spot, I do 100% take accountability for my fuck-ups being part of some of these collaborations, competitions, these game shows, okay? You know, there's plenty of larger creators that have collaborated with Nux, and I'm not going to make a giant spiel and say everyone should be guilty by association. All I'm here for is saying that I am definitely in the wrong for even contributing or watching any of this kind of illegal content. Had I known it at the time, I would have stepped away immediately. But I really, honest to God, didn't.
That's my only problem with this video. Had I known it at the time, and it's like, I mean, I feel like I'm kind of in Voshland. It's like, well, I didn't know the character was a minor in the thing. It's like, there's context clues here that would make you uncomfortable. I know, I hope it would make you uncomfortable. It would make me uncomfortable. It would absolutely make me uncomfortable if I was being shown like high school students doing weird sexual shit.
People think that I'm playing dumb or I'm not being 100% truthful. You're never going to win over people that never want to side with you. But I just want to get my piece out there. I also want to end this video off by saying that to any of the creators that have made videos on me and...
It's like, it does sound like it's short stack goblin porn.
covered this whole situation, regardless of whatever thumbnails have been brought up or titles or any of these situations, I want to apologize to people like Chud Logic in this situation, because I really do feel like I did wrong you, obviously, with my misspeaking, my misstatements. I shouldn't have even said anything in the first place, and if I've hurt you or your career in this entire process, then I humbly apologize with it, okay? I know that, things probably wouldn't, smooth over, but I think an apology is due, and I think you got to be man enough to apologize.
I think it's like the 4th apology in this video for Chud.
When you have to.
I'm interested. Maybe I'll talk to Chud tomorrow. Is he on tomorrow? No, he's on Thursday. He's watching this on Thursday. I mean, I'll be watching. I'll be in the audience, but I'm interested to see what he thinks. And obviously it doesn't hit as hard when the video's been fucking deleted. But he has apologized to Chud to his face before, so I don't know where Chud is with this.
Now, when it comes to creators that have made videos on me, being critical of me on this subject, I don't want to obviously come across as somebody that was sweeping it, under the rug or pretending to ignore it the entire time. Look, if you make a video on me being critical about me, I am totally okay with that. I have obviously been critical of other people in the past.
Again, I kind of feel like this is like a damned if you do, damned if you don't type thing. I don't know if this was going to go well either way.
This is not something that is completely out of
That's a hindsight thing, but...
For the creators that have made videos on me calling me out for it, it is something that, again, I thank you for. Accountability is very important. Policing this community is very important. And when people make fuck-ups, you gotta at least be able to address those fuck-ups and own them. And I do definitely own my mistakes on, again...
Why did he delete this? That's the next part. Don't worry, we're getting there.
Again, watching any of this lolicon with Taku. I didn't know it at the time, but honestly, reviewing it and this footage and these clips, yeah, it shouldn't have been something that I was ever a part of in the first place. And I do 100% take full accountability for that, okay?
Jesus, 40,000 views on the Rhea.
Massive fucking L on my part. But it's not something that I absolutely want to bring up as something that is malicious on my end, okay? There were no crazy gooning sessions in the background. At the end of the day, my relationship with Taku is pretty much over.
Bro, I love this. Dude, it's actually insane how fucking like malicious these mods are. I feel like the only thing in this chat, like the only thing in this video that every person in my chat would agree on is post Nux Clarity is like a banger title. No matter what you think about the video, no matter what you think about anything that was said here, his title seems to say how much he takes this seriously. It's just like, no matter what, the moderator just jumps in to have the worst opinion possible. You can't... Dude, the moderator's take is so stupid. My chat is going to agree with Mutahar.
And it's not something I ever want to rekindle, especially after reviewing all the other things that have come out of this. At the end of the day, I make fuck-ups. Human beings, we all make fuck-ups. I think choosing how you acknowledge those fuck-ups, that goes a long way. And how I choose to acknowledge this fuck-up is basically, again, by completely being 100% transparent, honest with you, shedding light on things like the podcast shutting down. And ultimately, I want to move past this, leave this behind, and really just sort of end this on a note where at least I get my side of the story out. For the last couple months, this has been something where I feel like I've been taking a whole fuck ton of the pot shots, when really it's Nux that should absolutely be taking a lot of this, shit full face on. Something that I haven't seen on his secondary channel, main channel, social media platforms is actually taking accountability for some of these pretty serious grievances. Look, at the end of the day, I don't think...
Turn off the flute! Turn that flute off!
This is a simple cancellation. Lowly content is not something that...
I like how the flute is going to be an actual meme on the channel now.
I ever endorse, and it's something that I've been 100% against. And unfortunately, having somebody who may have potentially shown me this stuff based on the clips that I've seen, which seems to be a pretty high likelihood,
okay,
is not something that I should have ever done. Should have been completely 100% against it. Take accountability for it. But ultimately, yeah, I don't ever want to work with Nux going in forward. I think that bridge has long since been burnt. And
all right, so this is the video. The first part of the video is kind of explaining, like, the basics of what's happening here. Then he goes into shitting on Taku a lot. So he'll talk about, like, the Shadman stuff and the Taiga drama. Then he explains the podcast. He apologizes to Chud Logic, and he responds to Reddit and YouTube comments. I don't know. Call me an asshole. I think that the video, in and of itself, if it was still up on his YouTube channel, is fine. Not the best video. Not the worst video I've ever seen. But again, none of these lines, like, I'm taking accountability, I'm covering the... When you delete the video, you can't really bank off of those anymore. It's not sincere if you've removed the video. I don't know why you removed the video. I think he should have stood on business and left it up and ate some shit for a day or whatever to see what would happen. But again, like, he didn't even give this 24 hours, did he? This was only up for a couple of hours. I don't know why it's down.
What is
I have no fucking clue why this video is down.
Who is Bunty King?
Nicholas DeOrio.
If you're a big Chud fan, you're probably not going to be happy with it. If you're a big Nux fan, you're probably not going to be happy with it. If you're more critical than I, you're probably not going to be happy with it. But at the end of the day, it should still be on his fucking channel. I think we agree with that. So he pulls up this clip. This is the comment, right? This is the original one. It's been removed, so let me just boost it up a little bit. Remove the Nux video. Well, I can't be friends with Nux. Some of the questionable things in the video have surfaced. I still apologize for the... I can't be a friend of Nux with some of the questionable things that have surfaced. I apologize for the collaboration I took place in, and I don't aim to repeat those same mistakes. I'm sorry. So he removes that video, posts this comment, and then after all of that, he removes the next video, not the next video, the next comment, and then puts out like another longer statement. Maybe this one explains why it was deleted. Regarding my last video about Nux. Regarding the last video about Nux Taku, while I cannot be friends with him anymore after some of the recent things that have surfaced, I do feel like I did an overreaction that stems from being emotional on the reaction from the community on Reddit. I've been watching my content for the past few weeks, and I have realized that my channel has slipped into a slup channel. I have made drama-related content over the last several months, and I've been engaging in informative content. That includes producing videos that I don't release daily. I need to take more time to release a couple more times a week. That stands in quality and not quantity. Okay, wait. Wait, hold on. What the fuck? Wait, no. That's not what I thought that... Fuck! Alright, that was... Alright, that was not... Back to the... There we go. I don't do this for a job, so honestly, going out of my way to constantly chase trends is nothing beneficial for me other than to alienate my most hardcore fans. I need to take a few days off and reset and produce better content that isn't latest trends or internet drama. While that produces a good view count, it is not the content that I want to be known for. I'll be back with the content I am proud of in regards to past collaborations. All I can do is apologize and promise to do better.
What is Bunty King to you?
All right,
person?
This is it. This makes no fucking sense at all whatsoever. I have no idea why he took the video down. I don't get it. My channel is a slop channel because I defended myself. I apologize for things I did wrong. I'm not seeing justification for removing a fucking video here. I don't see. I'm sorry. Computer, bro, I think I found your problem. Yeah. Next Penguin Zero Muda situation is crazy. It was arrogance and foolishness to touch on the Sonichu medallion. Yeah. This is the most genuine heart. Go touch some grass. I don't know why you spent the time to make the video just to pull it down. Doesn't make sense to me at all. I'm not getting the Sonichu medallion. My biggest criticism is he didn't go harder on Nux. Sorry. I think this guy is a crazy fucking psychopath. Look at this video right here.
People that go on social media and they post crap like, oh, it's good, it's a shame that Trump didn't get killed, and shit like that. People feel like they can do that through the safety of their monitor. Through the safety of the internet, you could say whatever the fuck you want and you will have no actual consequences for the shit you do. It's time to see consequences, baby.
You are a VTuber, jackass. You hide your face for a living. Why are you making content defending people who are going to people's jobs to dox and harass them for social media? How fucking stupid could you possibly get? How dumb is your fucking brain? How little is it, bro? How could a fucking VTuber who hides his anonymity ever hold this position?
People that go on social media and they post crap like, oh, it's good, it's a shame that Trump didn't get killed, and shit like that. People feel like they can do that through the safety of their monitor. Through the safety of the internet, you could say whatever the fuck you want and you will have no actual consequences for the shit you do. It's time to see consequences, baby.
Are you? Yeah. Okay. And you think that the shooter should have been a better shot? Is that what you posted on Facebook?
So she posts on Facebook, the shooter should have been a better shot. And she fucked around and found out. Someone...
Bro, I'm so confused. How do you fuck around and find out? How?
What is Bunty King to
How?
you?
A person?
Yeah, this woman's
Who is Bunty
retarded.
King?
Fuck her. Whatever.
Nicholas DeOrio?
How is this your position?
Actually found her.
You think that the shooter should have been a shooter, huh?
He's doing fucking play-by-play. Wow, they actually found her.
Yeah, I think that's pretty.
People that go,
That's crazy to me, dude. Imagine seeing a VTuber say something like this. It's actually painful realizing how many people were against harassing people in their place of employment just because they were potential targets before, and not because it's just fucking bad. Nux, you hide your face professionally. How is this your take? Well, I guess my view of consequences for a bad take as a hit to my reputation and career, but yeah, I guess I do see the irony. Dude, this is not a hit to your reputation. This is not a hit to your fucking career. This is somebody filming your fucking job and finding you in real life over something you wrote on Facebook that got blasted on fucking libs of TikTok that was meant for your fucking 8 Facebook friends, bro. That's what this is. That's crazy that this is your I hide my face on the internet position. But the real one that gets me every fucking time, the real thing that's so fucking funny to me is ironic because have you ever watched this video? Let me pull this up real fast. Have you ever watched this video? Wait, chat. Wait, I swear this video was up yesterday. Wait, no, chat, no. Where's this video? I was gonna pull it on stream today.
Who is Bunty
No,
Nicholas DeOrio?
chat, what's happening? Where's the? Wait, I wanted to be educated. Where is this video? I just had it. It was just on my. Where's? Oh no. Oh dear me. In the past 24 hours, it appears this video no longer exists. Oh, I thought we were talking about lolicons, Nick. We're not. Yeah, it's a shame that we have it. It's a shame that it's on Internet Archive. I think my favorite quote from this video. I don't know if I'll be able to find it as quick because I don't have this open. But holy shit,
everything happened. Who is?
I don't think you can pull timestamps. This is so fucking funny, dude.
Involved and really just see how it all came to be.
So I did watch both of these videos, and there were a lot of facts present. And while he didn't disprove everything in the allegation department,
the allegation that he didn't disprove was that he admitted he sent a request to a 14-year-old girl to shove ice up her pussy. For people who didn't know, that was what 19-year-old guy on the left did. And he claims at this point currently that it was a suicide. It was a suicide note, and that's why he confessed.
For worse, and are still thriving.
I've added links to both of these videos down below. A common misconception is that I have been framed as a liar and that I lied in all of my Twitter statements. This is not true. You can see this evidence in more detail in Technical's video. The reason I seem to switch stances is simply because at the time I did not have proper evidence, witnesses that came forward later, and I just did not have the full picture in front of me.
Oh, I have it here. I have a timestamp. Sorry. This is what I wanted to show you. Watch this.
Full confession for my part. Simply put, this document is nothing more than a suicide letter that I...
This is his confession. It's nothing more than a suicide letter, chat. Watch this.
I've also probably heard of a so-called confession for my part. Simply put, this document is nothing more than a suicide letter that I wrote during a tremendous mental breakdown.
So again, this man made an apology to some of the allegations, corroborating them and saying they were true. And now again, he's saying that he's not sure if they were true as much, which definitely does.
This is a big fucking moment where Nux has the opportunity to call out some clear bullshit. What does he say?
Does look like a take backsies. Now, to say that it wasn't true because I wrote it like a suicide letter because I was in a dark place, that's not normally an answer that will satisfy me.
Okay, good.
That said, I do know for a fact that he did attempt suicide.
Oh my god. Bro, what is this take?
Multiple times over the last few months. Like, talking to him, it's not a hoax. Like, sometimes the I'm in a dark place excuse is a hoax. This time it ain't.
Dude, why did he delete this video? I have no idea. Oh, one again.
It ain't.
I had fully planned to take my life right after posting that document because I pretty much lost all faith in that scenario.
I wonder why he deleted this. Does anyone have any idea why he would delete this one day after people started looking into his history? I mean, wow.
So many of my close friends decided to take the situation, to throw me under the bus for personal gain, seeing how people were reacting in general, and me just feeling like I could not defend myself properly. Pretty much took the last bit of hope that I had left, and I decided not just to give up, but to sabotage myself on purpose.
Yeah, I can't believe you, dude. You're such a virtuous guy. Are people saying Nux Taku has responded to this? Did Nux put a video out? God, I hate this guy. Is it on the Nux? Did he do anything on Nuxinator? Yeah. Oh man. How do you even spell that? Nux Taku. Nux Taco. Dude, it's Prince Taco. Channel. Nux. Community. Nuxinator. No, he hasn't posted anything. Nuxamore? Wait, what? This guy's like a tertiary channel? What is Nuxcord? Nuxamore. No, not on that either. Nuxinator? I don't see it. Nick Reed? I'm reading, bro. What about Nuxamore? Wait, I'm on Nuxamore. There's so many of these. Dude, put the flute back on? All these are like dead channels that he doesn't use anymore. I don't want to put anything on screen because I don't know what the fuck these are. Oh my god, bro. He's got Some Ordinary Podcast still in his More Nux section. Oh, that's great. Having more than 2 channels should be a crime. I don't use my third one, so I still slide in. So here's the, this is what I'm trying to say. It's like, this guy is a huge fucking scumbag. Anybody who's defending Nux Taku is a fucking idiot. Complete degenerate bullshit. Not only is he a complete hypocrite, because I mean, I can't believe a VTuber would hold the position where you should just be able to drive up and start filming people at their place of work. That's a very jobless position to be holding, but whatever. Thank you, VTuber, for that super interesting information. But I also think that this video is super fucking deplorable, and the fact that he's gone ahead and deleted it after people started criticizing him. And I've handed this to a bunch of people if they want to watch it on stream. I'll give it to Chud tomorrow if he wants to look at it. But I do think it's pretty indicative of what's happening right now, that he's so quick to run and purge this from the internet prior to my stream today. Not that he knew I was going to go over it, but I think he had to start assuming it would come up eventually. That's funny. That is so fucking funny, dude.